All right. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. This is WJHS 91.5. It's time for, I guess, we've never officially named this show the School Board Meeting Recap. The voice you're listening to right now, I'm Mr. Jordan Glaza, the audio-video teacher here at Columbia City High School. And across the street from me, touting a huge pile of papers compared to usual. So you have me nervous. It's Dr. Laura McDermott, who you know as Whitley County Consolidated Schools Superintendent. And we are admiring the weather of late, kind of grumbling a little bit at all of the rain that's been coming down. But I think it's going to be a good week. It's supposed to get warmer and warmer as the week goes along. And I have no doubt that when we get to Thursday into Friday, when it's supposed to start raining, as it keeps getting warmer and warmer, I'm going to be like, okay, you can stop now, Mother Nature. It's warm. It's hot. It's hot. Stop. It's going to be a lovely week. All kinds of spring weather thrown in there. And I'm going to appreciate it more than snowstorms. I'll say that.
Absolutely. I enjoy listening to your weather forecast. The kids doing their weather forecast.
They do okay. They do okay.
Do a great job.
They do this weird thing. Can I launch a small, tiny, teeny weeny complaint? For whatever reason, okay, so we have morning forecasters. We have afternoon forecasters. When you do the afternoon forecasters, I haven't been able to figure out how to convince the kids not to tell me what the morning weather is going to be like that just happened in the afternoon. It's really, we're working on it. Some of them it gets, but then they don't stop and pause the person. Hey, don't talk about the morning forecast. It's the afternoon already. We'll get there. That being said, we have plenty to get to.
We do.
Always lots of happenings in awards, accolades, celebrations that we'd like to do a little school board meeting recap and add in the perspective of the people in the know, mostly your guest right here, Dr. Laura McDermott. And what do we want to start with? What do we want to start with today?
Well, we had a great board meeting last night in a lot of high school. Mm-hmm. Because the high school presented last night. We had Mr. Mullet and Mrs. Coday and Miss Berry were all there last night. Well, we started the meeting with Madison Straub. Maddie Straub did the Pledge of Allegiance. Great job. Thanks to her for coming in to do that. We also had Leah Potts, who came in for recognition as the Dormer Distinguished Scholar. So she got a full ride to Purdue Fort Wayne.
Hey.
4-year merit-based scholarship for an incoming freshman who majors in business. And so she received that award. Yes.
Hey.
It's quite phenomenal. Quite the award. And she is going to be majoring in marketing and management there at Purdue. Her extracurriculars include City Lights, National Honor Society, Student Council, Business Professionals of America. So she is quite the accomplished young lady already. So I can't wait to see what she's, Purdue Fort Wayne. So that'll be awesome to see what she does when she finishes. Then Mr. Mullet, and she did accredit, this is to you, her accomplishments to the BAC Academy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fun.
She said all of her experiences and things helped her in the BAC, helped her get to where she's going.
For our listeners, BAC stands for Business, Arts, and Communications. We love acronyms here at WCCS on WJHS.
Absolutely.
So Business, Arts, and Communications, just to share with that, we're growing our program. We're trying to keep going. It's good. Let's continue with our accolades.
That's what Mr. Mullet came in and talked about the academies. So he just did an update with the board about where CCHS is right now and where they're going. He talked about the academies being a collection of communities and how that strengthens the high school and creates a community, each community creating shared experiences for their students and how those experiences are very relevant. Mm-hmm. Students are able to work with businesses and within their community to create relevant learning experiences. And that Maddie alluded to that when she was talking to the board about how she was able to get to where she is right now through all of those experiences that she's had.
So to explain kind of from my perspective, just when I first came in, I was like, as a teacher 4 years ago now, it's hard to believe it's been that long, but I was like, what are these? And it was explained to me like silos or areas of academic interest. So there's MET, mechanical engineering and technology. There's HHS, which is health human services. And then of course there's BAC, which is kind of interesting. That is kind of like, you don't have to pick a intent or a major yet in high school, but clearly there's those who are more academic focused on the sciences, and then there's those who are more interested in human needs. There's those who are more focused on business, or they have that. And not all the students are like, hey, I know I want to be an entrepreneur, or I'm going to be an engineer. Not there yet. Some are though, and I can see the purpose and intent, at least to help point kids in a good field if they don't have that. I'm going to be a veterinarian, or I'm going to be an astronaut, or that thing that anchors them down to purpose. I love it. I love the kind of generalized categories that helps. Which is fun. Please continue.
Absolutely. Well, and it gives kids a smaller community within a larger high school. It gives them a smaller community. It also allows the teachers to really know the kids. So, every student known beyond, just the academics, but really allowing students to know their teachers, but teachers to know the students, so that over multiple years. So it's more like an elementary experience as far as how cohesive the community is, so that there are people there to help guide and mentor and, be there with the kids, rather than to, I had you for a class for a semester,
right,
and now you're moving on, kind of thing.
Right. Get to know a little bit more in depth for student needs, for things that make them laugh and I think make better connections with them at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, then he also shared, he was very proud of this, got the SAT scores for this year.
Oh.
And in our neighboring districts.
Okay, so drum roll, or should I?
Yes, absolutely. Drum roll.
Okay.
So Columbia City High School ranked, out of our neighboring districts, ranked 4th.
Hey. So
we were behind Southwest Allen and, boy, that's really tiny print.
May I? All right, so over here, that is really tiny print. Okay, so Southwest Allen, above us, Northwest Allen, and then we have, I believe this is DeKalb.
Then us.
And then us.
So East Allen and Warsaw and all those others are below us. So we scored better than they did this year.
All the other principals and superintendents listening to this show right here, right now, what's your secret?
Absolutely. So he was very proud of that, which he should be. And then he shared the projected graduation rate for this upcoming school year, for this year, which is back up to where we have been in the past, 95%, which is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal graduation rate. He also just talked about all the program successes and accolades had this year, which is outstanding. And we've talked about over and over during our time together. Did talk about what the future holds for CCHS in the upcoming years. Talked about the school transformation and the focus of the school improvement grant work, and how this work will increase the opportunities for our kids to earn industry-recognized credentials and college credits, and allow you, the rest of the staff here, time to rethink student and teacher schedules, so that you're able to create time and space for teachers to learn from one another, and strategies to support students, both individually and collectively. So that's good. The
Student Improvement Grant, or as we've called it here, we love our acronym, SIG. Mm-hmm. How long should we feel the effects of that? Is that a 2-year program, a 4-year program, or is that an ongoing grant that helps establish a new, system?
So this is the first year of 4 years. Mm-hmm. So we have...
Of implementing new strategy, I guess you could say, which is fun.
3 more years. And we're just dipping our toes in it. So the big dollars are yet to come.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so if you hear about the
just
Student
starting
Improvement
it.
Grant or SIG, you heard it here first.
And then he talked about the big one is the enrollment, the increased enrollment. So
Yeah, I know.
If you look at that chart, that's like a whoa.
That's how I like my stocks and bonds to look, just looking at it over the course of time. I do know, so we are in freshman wing, I guess you could say, if you're entering the high school front doors, the back upper right wing of the school, D wing, honors, I can't remember the name of the hallway specifically, but some of our classrooms, definitely with the freshman class, last year with a big class. And then this year we got more, a couple of the classrooms need more chairs. So I do know it's a big class. I didn't realize I'm stealing the paper again. Stealing the paper just about, this is interesting stuff.
You have another big class coming in.
Oh man. So we have almost 1,200 students.
Yeah,
as of 2024, whereas last year, just for comparison, 1150, just about 1150s. So, and then previous years, 1120, and then 1080. Oof, wow, we are.
Those were the days. Right?
Those were the days. No, I can definitely feel it. It does feel a little bit more crowded, and maybe it's just because it is funny. At the beginning of the year, freshman wing, I can see over the students' heads, but then something happens. They start feeding them really good, those regular school breakfast, and then all of a sudden, towards like the as we start submitting grades, the quarter and stuff like that, it's getting a little hard for me. And then like this time of year, like I need a new batch of freshmen so I can see the whole way. Some of them are big. Some of them are tall, and I'm like, I need to put on my big shoes and stretch up a little bit to get over these guys. But it is fun to see. So I think in addition to the students just growing at an amazing rate, I think the numbers makes it a little bit more. Now you kind of got to weave through between classes to get where you're going if you're in the commons area here in freshman wing. So I'm feeling the effects. I'm nervous for 2025.
Well, yeah, and we're having to hire more staff for the building. So
okay,
that's a really good sign, And he concluded with the WCCS and CCHS is the place people want to come.
So I don't know if you have this information or breakdown. You just said Mr. Mullet said that it's the place we want to come. Are these students moving into the area from other states? Or are they from other districts? Or is it where's
both?
Both? Okay. Or is it just the people are having more babies in the area?
And no, it's really not.
It's people coming in.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
fun. That's fun.
People moving in and people transferring into the district.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
Learned something new today.
Yeah. It's from we had a demographic study done 2 years ago, and actually the birth rate in the county is level or decreasing slightly. Okay. So it's either people moving into Whitley County or transfers into the county. Yep. Which is a good problem to have. We're just going to have to wrap our heads around it. And then Mrs. Code presented, and she and her Katie Beery also, and they talked about
Mrs. Code is a medical assistant nurse here at the high school. Or I'm sorry. That is completely wrong. Downstairs. Sorry, I was. No, that is not accurate. I'm sorry. Karen.
You mixed up your K names.
I did. Karen Code is actually right below us on the first floor and does amazing work with those who have special needs, special intent, and overall has a lot of focus. And I love the supplemental staff and the student workers that work with that program and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So sorry, please
okay.
carry on, continue.
They did a presentation. They've been talking about this for some time, about creating an inclusive adult recreation area out here behind the school.
Yes.
Yeah, that way. Yeah. And so, and the impact that might have on the students in their classroom, and just while they're here, but also beyond, because there's nothing like that in the county for adults with disabilities. So they wanted to build an accessible, inclusive, sensory-rich adult. They're calling it playground. I call it recreation area because I think as an adult, we're very hesitant to say, I'm going to the playground. But
Right.
I would say I go to the recreation area, although it's still a playground.
Going to the rec area.
Yeah.
Rec zone. Got to go lift.
But it's suited for all exceptionalities. And they just talked about how students with disabilities in a wheelchair, things like that, just don't have the same options, to go on a swing or to go on a in a merry-go-round.
Someplace
like
to
that.
have a physical output
Absolutely.
that is built for human size, full size human rather than like kindergarten. They have, the equipment that's built for them with, this really close together, everything in the tiny chairs. And
Well, yeah. How often do you go? I know when I take my granddaughters to a playground, and you see those curly slides and you're just thinking, or at least I am, I would love to go down one of those curly slides. I'm thinking that, I don't know that anybody's, is anybody watching? Could I go ahead and go down?
what happens if I get stuck?
So this would be for bigger people and for accessible, ADA accessible, everything. So they'd have swings and playground or the merry-go-round, musical panels, which I think is awesome. Sensory play for individuals with hearing impairment and a roller table. Doesn't that look like fun? Where you kind of lay your body down and
we're looking at a display that Dr. McDermott has brought in, and there's pages of this. That's kind of fun. That's kind of
where
fun.
you lay down on it.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this.
Roll across it.
You literally have 3-4 pages of it is the modern. You know what this reminds me of? Kind of the Science Innovation Center in Fort Wayne. That hey, spin this dial, go this way. This is built for people who have wheels, and this is yes, that's fun. That's fun. Tell me about this. Is this happening, or is this a proposal? Is this?
This is a proposal.
Okay.
And they're going to raise funds for it. The board was very receptive to it. So I need to write up basically a proposal to the board so that they can approve it, because I think they want to give seed money to it. And then there'll be fundraising for it. So I think that's great.
If we have the land and that program isn't shrinking, if we have the resources, and this would improve life for those with needs, for those who need an outlet, who show off your skills at the same time. That's going to charm me the rest of today to see those photos, and you should share those notes out to the public just for the roller table. Imagine being an Amazon box is what I'm going to describe this. An Amazon box, and someone has just purchased. They close up the box, they put the item inside. The item does not matter, and then it goes down all of the rollers that to get to the appropriate delivery vehicle. And that is one of these playground equipment items right here. And it's going to be a couple hundred feet away, just out of the WJHS studios back door, outside of the Columbia City High School here in Columbia City. You are the Amazon box. We could probably get an Amazon sponsorship. I'm just thinking out loud here. Why not?
It's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Every break you have, Mr. Claus is going to be out there on the roller table.
No, you'll never catch me. I'll be too fast. We're going to get a curly slide for you. That's what we'll do.
Well, and then, so in conjunction with that, we talked about, so Mrs. Lori Shipman was there last night. And as part of the school improvement grant, the SIG for the high school, as part of that, we are forming a 501c3, a nonprofit board.
Okay.
And that board, partnership board, the board approved an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with this 501c3 and the board. So the 501c3 will help generate funds, but will also watch over the school improvement grant funds.
Okay.
And Mrs. Shipman is going to be chairman of that board, and she has extensive background in fundraising, working with nonprofits. She's currently the president for the YMCA board, and she's co-president, I think, for the swim booster club, and it may be soccer booster club. I know it's another booster club here at the high school because she has two boys over at ETA. But basically, she spent her entire career in fundraising. She has worked for the Economic Development Corporation here in Whitley County.
Yes.
So they will serve as a conduit for funding from other sources and also disbursement of grant funding. And it's
some proper management taking place with Ms. Shipman.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And it's also a place for businesses to donate dollars or equipment to the school. So it's very difficult for businesses to donate dollars to a school corporation because it's difficult for them to write it off.
Right.
However, if they donate to a foundation, a 501c3, they can write that off. If they donate equipment, they can say, okay, this is earmarked for WJHS or whatever. They can write that off, and it can go directly to WJHS. Where if they donate it to a district, there are a lot more hoops to jump through.
Okay.
So this is set up for that. And what it will help ultimately is like the fundraising that Mrs. Code and Ms. Beery are doing for the inclusive playground. She can help with that as well. So all of these pieces are coming together. Even though we're developing it for the school improvement grant, it will help the district from now on.
And help businesses as well. Make the process a little bit easier, which ultimately helps the community, helps the kids.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. And it's something that we've been wanting to do for a number of years. So now we have the opportunity to do it, and we have the person who has stepped forward and is willing to do it, and we couldn't have a better person that said, yes, I'll do it. And it's a big step forward for the district. So really excited about that too. So big news there too.
All because you wanted a curly slide. I cannot believe it. No, I'm teasing, of course. That is the fun to see. So we'll see this implemented and put into place over the next 4 years, you said?
Well, now we're at the end of the first year.
End of the first year.
So, yes.
Okay.
Next year's year 2.
Okay. Okay. Yes. I look forward to hearing some more updates around that. Okay. So we've made it through some of your pile today on the pile of papers that we have on our desk.
Actually, my whole pile. See, I just highlighted pieces. I'm not doing the whole thing.
No, I
highlighted pieces.
Begin reading, and we will be done at the end of the test. At the end of the class.
I am really. That's all. That was our board meeting. It seemed like it flashed right by.
Right. That's very good. As always, I do appreciate having you in the studio for updates. It's wonderful to hear your perspective on things, be able to add. Of course, we joke around a little bit, but to be able to add information that we might not have got otherwise, or if you missed the school board meeting, I always enjoy having you in. That being said, you can reach out if you have any questions as an audience about any of this. You can either reach out to me here at WJHS, Dr. Lauren McDermott. School system email is wonderful. As a member of the public, follow along WJHS for more updates as we go. That being said,
thank you.
It's going to be a lovely day. We're talking weather-wise that it's supposed to get hotter the rest of this week, and then Friday, chance of rain. So we'll see what happens, see if my weekend's going to be inside catching up on old reruns of Friends or something like that. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.